Well, Kentucky may miss out on a major federal grant that would pay for colonoscopies for people who don't have health insurance.
And it could cost the state a lot more than grant money. As WHAS 11's Joe Arnold reports tonight, the state passed a law to make it happen, but hasn't put up the money required to get the grant. And we do want to bring a note to you that some viewers may find some of our video here in the story graphic.
Waiting for his colonoscopy, Heinz Brown is thinking about his stepfather, who died of colon cancer.
I watched him go through 3 years of suffering, surgeries, hospitals, and colonoscopy bag, and there you have it.
Brown says it's a rite of passage. When you turn 50, like he did in January, you get checked.
We're so glad you're here getting some smart body maintenance.
I'm just glad to have the opportunity to get it done.
But because this opportunity is either not available or not utilized by many Kentuckians, the Bluegrass State ranks first in the nation in colon cancer mortality.
We like to be number one in a lot of things, especially around this time of year, but not colon cancer.
Kentucky, however, is making progress. In 1997, only 34% of Kentuckians 50 and older had been checked for colon cancer. By 2006, that number was up to 58%, and that number is probably still climbing because in January, a new law went into effect requiring insurance companies in Kentucky to cover colonoscopies.
And that took us from an American Cancer Society rating system from an F up to a B, because it really ensured access to those people that have insurance. But there's a whole segment of the population who are uninsured that we're still working on gaining that access for.
A separate law passed by the General Assembly last year launches a program to cover the uninsured. Problem is, it's unfunded, so it's a law on paper only. New grants, however, from the Centers for Disease Control could cover Kentucky's uninsured.
The CDC grant would pay for those colonoscopies with the requirement, though, that the state or doctors would have the money available to take care of those patients if any cancer is found.
This is so small, I'm going to grab it and get a tissue specimen and just burn the remainder of it.
Find a polyp early and the medical cost is a mere $2,000 for the colonoscopy, compared with the roughly $30,000 it takes to treat early-stage colorectal cancer. Late-stage treatments can range from $125,000 to $200,000. So the Colon Cancer Prevention Project says it's guaranteed. If the state invests the money for colonoscopies, the taxpayers will save money.
The return on investment is somewhere between 1.5 and 2. So if you spent $1 million in screening, you would probably save $1.5 million in treatment costs that those folks who got screened don't have to spend down the road for chemo. The other important thing is screening dollars stay in Kentucky. Chemotherapy dollars for people with advanced cancers tend to leave our state because they go to biotech and pharmaceutical companies.
Dollars aside, don't forget the human cost. Each year, 2,500 Kentuckians are stricken with colon cancer. 840 of those will die. Maddening numbers considering that if detected early, colon cancer is 90% curable.
And I cannot justify the anxiety I put my loved ones through, my employer at a critical time in a project, and the expense. It's just, you know, I can't begin to justify that.
Bill Beam says he never dreamed he could have colon cancer at 54. 7 years later, he points to men like Heinz Brown, who even without symptoms can't imagine not making sure.
And how can you live with that, not knowing? You know, I mean, everybody wants to be around for the grandkids, this and that, you know, so, yeah, preventive maintenance.
The Colon Cancer Prevention Project is not just waiting for the dollars to come in. They are already working to persuade local hospitals and doctors to donate their services for some screenings, like the Rubbertown Health screenings in Louisville last year. Joe Arnold, WHAS 11 News.